Our weekend of activities start with the preparation of the track, as protective barricades, wire and tyres are rolled out to form the street circuit. Tyre barriers are placed strategically around the track to maximise safety for competitors and all involved in the weekend of races. While setting out the track, safety for the spectator as well as drivers is paramount. And thanks to a small army of volunteers, the picturesque Portland streets are transformed into a racetrack in no time at all. Grandstands are set out around the course in specific areas to ensure great vantage points for the spectator. For the large crowds expected for the weekend, hospitality tents are set up. And back on the track, wood chips are put down as safety barriers and the circuit is swept clean. Karting Association officials take a final look at the track in readiness for the weekend of competition to begin. Day one of racing commences with a display from the Portland Brass Band as Portland Karting Club President Ross Anderson introduces officials and dignitaries.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Portland District Karting Club to the running of our second Portland Street Grand Prix. We'll now go ahead with the opening event. For the VKA, Mr Alan Barclay will be there representing for shall speak. He'll be followed by the President of the Shire of Glenelg, Councillor Tom Munro, and Father Eric Bryant shall bless the track, and the band shall then play the anthem, and then it will be followed by drivers' briefing. I now introduce Mr Alan Barclay from the Victorian Karting Association. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you very much, Ross. I know looking around the crowd there's quite a lot of people here that did come to the inaugural event last year, so it certainly says something for the prestige of this event, the Portland Street Grand Prix, to see so many faces back there and also quite a lot of new faces too. I think the entry list last year was something like the 270 mark. We're up to about 320, so quite a few new faces, and I'm certainly sure that everybody's going to enjoy the event here this year. It's very similar to last year. It's going to be fantastic. The weather's not being real kind at the moment, but I'm certainly sure that that's going to improve over the weekend, I'm very sure. Certainly to the Shire President and Father Brian, thank you very much for helping us out here this weekend. And I'd like to wish everybody all the best on behalf of the VKA. Certainly the executive members that aren't able to attend today, they send their best wishes to you and to the Portland Kart Club. We wish them very well. They have done an absolutely marvellous effort once again this year. One or two, or quite a few improvements, and it's looking all good for 1998 and beyond. So Ross, thank you very much for the opportunity and all the best for 1998. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alan. We'll now call on the Shire President, Councillor Tom Munro, to open the event.
Thank you very much, Ross. Ross Anderson, Portland District Karting Club President, Victorian Karting Association Representative Alan Barclay, Father Brian, Dr Dennis Napthine, I believe he's in the audience somewhere, fellow Shire Councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that short speeches might be the order of the day. There seems to be a grey cloud on the horizon, so I'll keep this relatively brief. Firstly, let me congratulate the Portland District Karting Club for bringing the concept of street racing to Portland. This event has achieved in a very short period of years a high profile in the karting calendar in Australia. And it is significant that this year the event has an international flavour, with competitors from Japan competing. A special welcome is extended to our overseas visitors. Also welcome to the birthplace of Victoria, to all interstate visitors and visitors from other Victorian centres. What a great effort, 350 odd entries. We wish you all safe racing. Hope you enjoy the track and the hospitality that I know will be extended to you by the people of Portland. The Glenelg Shire is proud to be a sponsor of this event and thanks other sponsors for their contributions and support for this major event for Portland. It is my great pleasure that I now officially declare open the Portland Street Grand Prix 1998. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tom. We'll now have the blessing of the track by Father Eric Bryan, and then we will...
Well, may the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth and the life, be with us all. Christ, the Son of God, came into the world to gather those who are scattered. Whatever contributes to bringing us closer together is in accord with God's plan. Lord our God, you are never far off from those who serve you. With fatherly protection, you always guard those who trust in you. Once more, we ask you to bless this go-kart track, and by your grace be the protector and guide going before those who use it, the drivers, the officials and the spectators, keeping them safe from harm. May this weekend be a source of true pleasure and relaxation for all, and a place of sportsmanship and friendly rivalry. We ask this in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
As our camera takes a stroll down pit lane, umbrellas and rain jackets were the order of the day. A little improvisation here as everyone battled the elements to stay dry. Rain, hail or shine, the show must go on, as drivers and pit crew worked on their karts to set them up for wet weather racing. Our Japanese contingent were very well organised, as they too made changes to suit a wet track. Takeshi Kitagawa from Kyoto, relaxing here as his race kart is prepared. Takeshi was sponsored here in Portland by Prix Engineering from Melbourne. Kanta Watanabe is also from Kyoto and is our other Japanese competitor here for the weekend of karting. With rain still tumbling down, our drivers were all in a jovial and happy mood as race time drew nearer. Motors constantly need tuning. As seen here, a young competitor changes a spark plug to complete the preparation of his kart. The weather eased a little as the first of the karts made their way to the start grid. Karting officials and scrutineers were on hand to check karts and make that all-important assessment before racing commenced. As usual, the grid is a hive of activity as mechanics work quickly to rectify any last-minute adjustments. Tyre pressures are an important part of karting. As a mechanic locates a problem, he is quickly on the scene to rectify it before the karts are called into line. With this being the second running of the Street Grand Prix, tension is starting to show as the competitors are keen to do well. Street circuit racing is new to the Japanese competitors, as all their racing has been done on closed-circuit tracks in Japan. Takeshi had plenty of onlookers, as his kart was also checked out. Both the Japanese drivers have the ability to do well here in Portland. One of the drivers guards against noise pollution as the competitors are called into line. The drivers are now in the starters' hands as the countdown continues. Bill Holmes from the Portland Karting Club is the official starter for the weekend racing, and here he sends the karts off in the Formula 100 light to get the Grand Prix meet underway. Max Hotel was a popular venue for spectators as we went late into the afternoon of Saturday's racing. The crowd, young and old alike, turned out to support the race meeting, and despite the weather, all seemed to enjoy the action on the street. During a break in racing, track marshals assisted drivers in clearing the track for the competition to continue. Meanwhile, these young people, oblivious to the weather, were hooked on the smell and the noise, and they enjoyed the thrill and excitement of the Grand Prix. Don't be fooled by this bloke, he's just taking time out from the excitement of the competition. Spectators at the Gordon Hotel were treated to a sensational view of the thrills and spills from the weekend racing, with the track running just below the balcony.
Agricultural work too, the grass and stuff after, pretty short, they don't need to do that. No, they're all combined, mate. They don't need to do
It was a great day's racing here for the first day at the Portland Street Grand Prix, even though that the weather was rather inclement and it was wet through most of the racing. That I was quite surprised at the amount of karts that managed to stay on the circuit and complete each race, and particularly the Formula 100, the GP event.
Yeah, I agree, John. There certainly was some good drives out there under very trying conditions at times, and some of our younger drivers are certainly great talents, like Jamie Whincup was one, and there's Matthew Wall, also great drives in very trying conditions.
Well, they put on some great displays out there, particularly Jamie Whincup is coming from a junior straight up to senior today, making his debut in senior ranks, and got out there and has two starts, 2 wins. Yeah. And of course Matthew Wall being a national champion out there, well, I think that a lot was expected of Matthew, and he came up with the goods now.
Yeah, that's true. You've got the reputation to live up to once you are number one, but certainly he showed why here today.
Yes, and another thing I was interested in too, that there was a great lot of talent lined up in the Spec 100 class. That was the last race on the first round. They've got another race tomorrow and their finals, of course, but that Spec 100 class had a lot of talent there with a lot of the guys like Michael Gray. Then there was also Adrian Rossetto and Ben Savage, all this sort of some really top class guys out there, and it looks as though that they're looking forward to their final tomorrow. But the big one at the end of the day tomorrow, Noel, will be the Formula 100, the Grand Prix race, and with the weather looking a lot better than what it is been today, that I think tomorrow will give well, the drivers themselves will give them a better go on the circuit, because it'll be dry conditions, they'll be running on their slick tyres, and also that the public will get the benefit of this, of being able to see the karts at their maximum.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the public are not seeing the full potential of the karts at the moment because of the conditions, but hopefully tomorrow we'll be fine, the track will be dry. Different gearing, obviously with dry conditions, and hopefully we'll certainly see quite a good show tomorrow.
It's 10:30 and you're tuned to 99.3 RPC FM. It's a beautiful day out there today. It's about 27 degrees, the sky's blue and the track is fast. The Portland Go-Kart Grand Prix is on again, and a very good morning to all the drivers, pit crew and families who've made the trip to Portland.
As the second day of racing gets underway, the competitors are all smiles. Portland has turned on a perfect day for the competition to continue. Down pit lane, drivers and pit crews are working frantically, repairing and fine-tuning their karts, pushing these machines, trying to get the edge on other competitors.
Yeah, good. Breathe it a little. It'll get better and better. Brain's gone, that's a good bit.
The mechanical work continues. As the weather and the competition heats up, every driver is trying to get the most out of their karts.
Oh, listen, I should get the name off the side pod, I reckon, to help Remo out. No, they're going that good, we don't need to work on it.
Okay. You qualified for your finals?
Yeah, we're in the finals, yep.
One of the competitors, with his kart tuned and ready for the day's racing, is heading down to pit lane in the hope of securing victory in his class.
You're bragging about it.
You see, I got a
360 and turned it around and kept going. Oh, good.
We'll have a coffee. Yeah, old bloke, Steve. Yeah. You're still a young bloke. So, mate, you're still a young bloke.
As you can see, karting isn't just for the young, but also the young at heart, and this guy knows exactly what it's like. Another not so young, making final adjustments to get the seating position just right. As our camera once again takes in the grid, conditions are absolutely perfect for karting, and in stark contrast to yesterday's conditions. The many hours of exhaustive practice, maintenance and repair of each competitor's kart all come down to the competition at hand. There's an air of confidence amongst the drivers, and just maybe it's their day, as grid positions were quickly filled for that all-important final practice hit-out. With Sunday's competition well underway, the corporate box at the Max provided patrons an excellent view of the circuit, with Portland's beautiful harbour as a backdrop. Out around the track, with fans and karting enthusiasts taking up every vantage point along Bentinck Street, the grandstands at the Max and the Gordon provided one of the most popular spots to view the racing, as drivers continued to pit their skills along the tricky parts of the track. The grandstands were only one of the ways to view the race proceedings, as all along the Bentinck Street track, spectators were up to 5 deep, trying to secure a great view of the Grand Prix racing. The program girls were also kept busy. A couple of young girls enjoying ice cream, while wandering up and down pit lane was a great way to see the drivers up close. Out on the grid, there's always lots of activity, as race officials, drivers and their support crews work frantically to keep the competition flowing. With race conditions much better today, drivers are out to improve their race times, trying to secure a victory in each of the classes of the competition, as we lead up to the all-important Grand Prix race of the weekend, the Formula 100.
Welcome to Portland, Victoria, as a huge crowd has flocked here in attendance to witness the 1998 Portland Street Grand Prix. And as you can see, unlike Saturday, the skies have cleared and we should be able to look forward to some very exciting racing here today on the streets of Portland. And currently on the grid is the championship class of the Portland Street Grand Prix, Formula 100 Light. And this class is proudly brought to you by Kalari Transport. And as you can see, drivers from all over Australia have arrived for this magnificent event. However, there is one exception, and that is Japanese driver Takeshi Kitagawa, who is starting 5th on the grid. And he is driving an Arrow AX6 kart supplied by Prix Engineering. And on the front row, starting on pole position, number 60, Jamie Whincup, in his first ever meeting as a senior. And it would be quite an accomplishment if he could win this final of 15 laps. The crowd are waiting on for this 16-car field of Formula 100 Lights, which is brought to you by Kalari Transport. And as you can see, on the front row, in pole position, number 60, Jamie Whincup, with alongside him, number 45, Paul Dumbrell. And then rounding out the second row is Vince Santoro with Ian Salstrom, and in the third row, Takeshi Kitagawa with Daniel Rykert. Around the penultimate turn comes the field as we await the start of the 1998 Portland Street Grand Prix Premier Class in Formula 100 Light, and it's Whincup to the lead with Paul Dumbrell on the outside, and Vince Santoro moves up in the second place, and we've got a pile-up about 5 or 6 karts off there in a first corner incident, and what a terrible start to the race for them, as it's Jamie Whincup leading on the arc straight with Vince Santoro in second position, Ian Salstrom in third, followed by Dumbrell, Rykert, Kitagawa and Pugliese. Drivers not very impressed with that first corner incident, as rounding out of the final turn and on the completion of lap 1, it's Jamie Whincup with the lead. Yellow flags waving in the background as a result of that first corner incident, and Whincup stamping his authority up Rod Hines Hill. Through Thorpe Straight on the Porter Hall corner, and you can see that Whincup has a huge lead over second place Vince Santoro, and Santoro onto the curb and into the tyres. So another retirement, and Vince Santoro is going to be very upset with that, as Ian Salstrom now moves up into second place, and he is under increasing pressure from Paul Dumbrell as he's right up behind him as they go into Kalari Straight. Up Ron Hines Hill, and Jamie Whincup with a bit between his teeth, showing the pace what he's made of, as he is breaking out to a huge lead over Dumbrell and Salstrom. Look, it's quite picturesque circuit here at Portland as they go through the Gordon Street Dipper, and it's Whincup leading. 3 laps to go, and as you can see, Paul Dumbrell now in second, and here is the battle of the race for third position between Takeshi Kitagawa and Tony Pugliese. Onto Kalari Straight and into the first turn, and a cart just went off there, out of picture. Yellow flags waving at the first turn, and it's Kitagawa under increasing pressure from Tony Pugliese as they go onto Thorpe Straight. Out of Porter Hall corner, into now the Gordon Hotel Dipper, and we're watching Jamie Whincup here as the cart's gone into the tyres and over him. It's Ian Salvestron. It looked like the left rear wheel came off there and has sent him off the second and into retirement. Crowd enjoying this race as Jamie Whincup's putting on a show for him, and he is under just a little bit of pressure now from Paul Dumbrell as he is slowly catching him. You can see the gap there. Dumbrell has made some inroads on him, and meanwhile the battle for third place is hotting up as the laps are dying away. It's Takeshi Kitagawa up Rod Hines Hill, onto the Thorpe Straight, and now into Porter Hall corner, and Whincup is just maintaining his lead over Paul Dumbrell as into the Gordon Hotel Karting. It's Whincup, Dumbrell, Kitagawa and Pugliese quite a fair distance behind. You're watching them now, and Jamie Whincup looks like though he's got a big enough lead to keep Paul Dumbrell behind. As we're going to the dying stages, Kitagawa just staining off Tony Pugliese as Jamie Whincup wins the 1998 Portland Street Grand Prix Formula 100 final, and quite a magnificent victory for this man as this is his first ever meeting as a senior. Paul Dumbrell comes in second position as the crowd very delighted with this race. We've got action of both kinds. We've seen a few retirements and some good racing for third position, especially between Takeshi Kitagawa and Tony Pugliese, as there they are now going onto the Portland aluminium cutting and into the in-grid. And a fantastic victory for Jamie Whincup as he has stamped his authority on the karting scene in Victoria and Australia with victory here in Formula 100 Light. So it's Jamie Whincup in first place. Second position was Paul Dumbrell, who was driving the Wins kart. You're looking at him now as he's getting ready to weigh his kart up. And in third position was Takeshi Kitagawa, who was under absolutely increasing pressure from this man, Tony Pugliese. So quite a magnificent race here on the streets of Portland, as we were greeted with quite magnificent conditions for the final, and thank goodness after the terrible day that we had on Saturday. So it's Whincup the winner, Dumbrell in second place, and this man, Takeshi Kitagawa, an outstanding performance as he has come all the way from Japan, and he will be absolutely delighted with his third position.
Adam Murray, can you go there and give me a big check, please? Adam Murray.
Like they put in a great drive out there, and I would say that drive is anything equal to some of the international drivers I have seen. And I see the Japanese people being held out by the fellas there as they drive around this thing. So give them a big hand. It was great having them here, and by gee, I hope we get them back next year.
Can all the competitors please bring a helper with them?
To round the Grand Prix meet off, Tony Nosky, Kalari Transport's Managing Director, was on hand to make the presentations to the winning drivers and place getters in all divisions.
Remo for a great car, the Portland Kart Club for putting on a great meeting this weekend. I know they can't hold back the rain. And well, all the major sponsors of the event. Without them it wouldn't go ahead. Thank you.
All drivers responded in a positive manner and voiced their approval on Portland and the kart meet in general.
I'd like to thank the Portland Kart Club for putting on an excellent event, and everyone that has supported it. Hopefully they get more next year. My wife for all the help, and Remo Racing for all his help. Thank you. Well done.
Third place in the Formula 100 went to Takeshi Kitagawa, and Barry Jarman spoke on behalf of our Japanese visitors.
Young Takeshi has asked me to say a few words. I'm not going to bore you all for a long time, but drivers have made him feel very much at home, and the whole Japanese contingent has had a wonderful time. We'd like to thank all Aussies for making them welcome. Thank you very much.
Second place in the Formula 100 went to up-and-comer Paul Dumbrell, while first placing went to Jamie Whincup, possibly the star of the weekend as he stepped into senior racing for the first time. As their champions showed off their trophies, we got some drivers' comments.
Great weekend. I'll be back here next year, I hope, if I'm still going. But look, I've been looking forward to this for 12 months. I came here last year, didn't do so well, but this weekend's been a beauty for me, with 2 wins in the third, taking out clubmen over 40s.
Just around Portland, the atmosphere is so well, so good. Everyone's going, having a great time, and the track's a really, really good track.
I loved it. I'll be back next year for sure.
As far as street circuits go, Portland probably has one of the best street circuits in Australia, without a doubt. It's very, very good.
It's a street meeting, it's a good track, just different. You got all the people along the sidelines, along the street. It's just a good atmosphere.
It's good, nice long straights, there's twisty turns, it's a bit rough in some places, but the whole layout is very good. There's a lot more people here and they've just improved on it so much over the year.
Well, it was a tremendous day today, a Sunday. Unfortunately, it rained yesterday, which sort of kept a lot of spectators away. But the guys, they still had a great time racing in it. They just have to change the chassis setup and all that, and they can still get around all right. But we wanted more spectators, and I guess the rain just kept them away. But today was a brilliant day. Hopefully next year we can get 2 brilliant days together, because we had a very big crowd. We introduced a championship class this year. That worked very well, and we hope to continue that next year. We had 2 international competitors, and we're very pleased that one of those young lads picked up a 3rd placing, and the indications are they'll be coming back next year, and one of the boys' sisters is actually going to try and race in that too. Thank you.
No, well, another great Portland street meeting, mate. The Portland Grand Prix exceeded all expectations for 1998, and we've come to the end of the racing, mate, and it's been a top weekend.
Absolutely brilliant. Just love it here. Every time I come, it seems to get better. And it's like they've been doing this for years, and it's only the 2nd year, but with the organisation they put into it, the effort, the local commitment, it can only grow, it can only get better in the future, and it's just brilliant. It's going to be the #1 street meeting on the calendar in Australia in years to come.
Right, well, the thing is, Noel, that they came up with the Formula 100 as the class event, the actual GP event today. Was a great race with Jamie Whincup, and then young Paul Dumbrell, one of the new young guns in karting, coming through, and our international visitor Takashai coming over here from Japan, coming down from Japan to compete, and he finished in brilliant fashion for a 3rd.
Yeah, I was really pleased about that, to see our international visitor come from, we're not up the front of the grid, but came through and got into that 3rd position, which is, I'm sure he was a thrill for him, and for the rest of us too. It's just great. It was a great race.
1999 will be another great year for Portland. I believe that it'll be a bigger and better entry. They've got over 300 for this meeting, which we've just concluded. I think that 99 will probably hit the 400 mark, Noel, with a large increase of international drivers.
Our many volunteers were once again on hand to dismantle the track and have the foreshore and Bentinck Street back to its pristine best for the coming working week. This army of workers began their task minutes after the final event had been completed and worked into the evening to complete the clean-up. The weekend of racing would not be possible without our many generous sponsors who once again came to the fore and assisted in making the Street Grand Prix a huge success.
Street.
Special thanks go out to our major sponsor, Kalari Transport Services, for their ongoing support, both from management and staff, during the weekend of activities. Come to karting's answer to the Monaco Grand Prix. Race and holiday in Portland. Put these dates into your race calendar.